first, I wanted to start by thanking the community because, I'm not a pro dev and very fluent with SPFX and ACE card and so on, but using all the samples that were available really make my work so much simpler. So I wanted to take the time just to thank everyone here, and I'm going to give back the sample to that same community because it felt like apropos as well. And that's that convinced me to come over as well. So just to set the lay of the land, I'm part of the teams engineering. We engage with tons of customers building custom application. And one of my specialties working with frontline customers. And throughout that journey, we met a few customers that wanted to expose dynamic cards where the content would vary based on the user location or different parameters. And then so we quickly discovered that the out-of-the-box card extensibility and capability were not to the liking or up to the bar of what was needed for the customer. For example, that specific customer was serving 37 different regions, and they wanted to have 10 cards. And today, if you use targeting audience on the cards, it means you have a card per region, making your dashboard 370 card wide, which would be probably very hard to manage. So the idea was, let's try to put our brain together and build a custom solution to address that. On top of that as well, there was another thing is obviously you don't want to put the burden of maintaining the solution and the content up to the SharePoint admin, and you want to delegate that to the local manager. And so we came up to try to create a custom card that would use SharePoint lists as your backend. And Paolo, I'm going back to you to have a bot filling that automatically. And using SharePoint list power and delegation to make sure that the local manager can add content. And as well, then when the frontline user connect to Viva Connection dashboard, he gets directly the content that is apropos for him without having to configure anything. So what we build is a very simple card I'm going to demonstrate that just read the usage location field from the login user, because that's a mandatory field. If you want to consume Office 365, you need to have a usage location that should be your country. Otherwise, you're not totally compliant, and therefore display the content that was filtered is based on that. So let's move out of the PowerPoint and to the environment. So the card is here. It's a large and medium card that you can use. It has a few properties, like you can customize out of the box the title, and we did build the part of creating the SharePoint list with a single button. So you don't have to worry to follow a big, lengthy procedure to create the list. That's done directly by the card itself. You click the button, and once the card is the list is created, the button is gray out, and you still have the shortcut to that list. The list is very simple. You provide a title, a description, the link of the content you want to consume, an image, because it's always cool to have an image, obviously the country, and we have as well a custom field that is open outside of Teams, because obviously our target audience is a mobile user, and if you use Viva Connections and opening links, those open in a sandbox by default, which is nice because you stay in Teams, you get the context, but can be a pain because you lose all the authentication and SSO, and that can be a problem. Or as well, you want to deep link to some external content, and you're blocked because you're sandbox. So if you check that checkbox, you'll be automatically open outside of Teams using the web browser of the device instead of the Teams browser. So you add your content, and dynamically that will show up in Teams. And it even works on the new Teams, because Paolo, I noticed that you were still using the old Teams. Be aware, in a few days, it's gone. And your card is very simple. You just need to click it, and you have a layer 2 UI that will display the content in the language of the user. So I'm in French, so I'm using it in French there. If I want to quickly show you the code that is not yet published, but will come on during this week, we have obviously the default card code, where on the init we fetch using the Graph API the user location, and that's what we use to filter out the SharePoint list that is created here, where we filter we filter here on the usage location. Obviously, you can change anything you want. If you want to use another parameter, that would make more sense and so on. But out of the box, that's the default thing. Obviously, following the different example, we built the solution to be multi-language. So all the strings are only stored in the language files, and you just have to update and make them your own. The only thing that is not simply exposed is the image of the adaptive card that is based on a base 64 on code there. Then, because I feel in a rush, I'm gonna try to share my mobile screen and do a live demo. If the demo gods are with me, good. So let's go back to my main screen. Close that because we don't care. Open the Teams, arrive to my dashboard. I can browse, and here I've got my DCC card I created. I click here. I only see the link in French because I'm French. I can open the first website, and that's within the sandbox. So no SSO, but I stay in Teams. And here I have a report in Power BI. And this one, I check the box open outside of Teams. And if I click that, actually, that deep link me directly to the to my web browser. Not to my web browser, actually, to the native Power BI app, because Power BI has universal links. So you even bypass the web browser. And that's quite handy because you want to open an Instagram thing, that would open Instagram and so on. So that's quite interesting. So within this week, it will be live on the community GitHub, and feel free to use it. We're happy to share. And with that, Vesa, back to you.